the business of the Liverpool bomber has brought into sharp focus what the root of our migrant crisis is. It is the asylum system. All of these predominantly young men, 84% of them are males under the age of 34, who come across the channel in these dinghies. The moment they step on our beaches, they claim asylum. And now we know that it doesn't really matter if that application fails. They just keep appealing, and they seem to be able to stay here ad infinitum. So once again, the asylum system offers no deterrent to these people. In fact, it's almost a kind of invitation to be welcomed and embraced into the warm arms of this country. And she's got to get to grips with this. She's got to stop this really quickly, because this is 1,000 migrants a day at times are coming across the channel, and we don't know anything about them. Every single one of them potentially could be a terrorist. This is a national security issue, and I would suggest an emergency.
It's been an emergency for some time, and we thought that when they appointed somebody with security in sorry, I forgot his surname now, and I should know, Dan Woodrow, I think it is, who's taken over the security of coming over from the channel, we'd have someone recognized the national security system that's in place. And when you think about it, there are 27,000 Syrians that came under the official program, and this Al Swealmeen was a Syrian. Now, one question that we've asked the Home Office, and I've had no reply so far, is how did he actually come to the country? Was he one that came over from the boats, or was he one that came from the official Syrian resettlement program? Because that's very important for us to know. Secondly, in terms of the numbers coming over, we've had 23,000, and I suspect there will be more before the year end. It only takes a small percentage of those to be equally bombers, just like Al Swealmeen. And thirdly, we have to recognize that this is the second attack by somebody who's been allowed to stay in the country, one by an asylum process, one being granted a visa on our soil, the murder of a Conservative MP, and now an attempted bombing. So I believe that this is a system, a failed asylum system, that is allowing people like those individuals to come in and create terror. And as you say, it'll only take one more to have a Manchester bomb. And I suspect we will have another Manchester arena around the corner.
And as you say, Al Swealmeen, the chances are he did come across by dinghy. I suspect that the eerie silence on that issue indicates he may well have been one of these channel crossers, which is going to spell massive headaches for the government, and they fully deserve it. How much longer, Stephen, are we going to have to listen to the tough words of Priti Patel? I mean, every day in every way. Yesterday, there she was saying, I vow to stop 100% of all the migrant channel crossings. Today, she says, our asylum system is dysfunctional. But nothing ever seems to happen. She's all words and no action.
I think these words actually are incredibly strong from a Home Secretary to make such a promise that there will be no more people coming across the channel. Is either that she knows something that we don't, that tomorrow we're going to be putting ships on our own navy out there and turning them back, or she's seemingly putting language out there that she's had enough, that she knows that this statement is so improbable from being accurate that she's looking for a way out of government and a way out of dealing with this crisis. Because so far we've had lots of words. She did it the same in November in a Home Affairs Select Committee. She said this in the press when we had the first bout of really large numbers coming across, if you remember, in March. And I think we're on the show when we discussed it. So these words have been mentioned many times. The action hasn't happened. So is she looking for a way out with this language?
I mean, to the risk of repeating myself, I mean, the situation is, to be honest with you, it's pathetic. It's pathetic that this man, Al Swealmeen, 7 years, and he was living in accommodation provided by the government, essentially. because he's an asylum seeker. And he's not an asylum seeker, he's a failed asylum seeker. He failed, his application failed in 2014, and apparently all he's ever done since then is appeal. In the middle of these 7 years, he has some sort of mental breakdown and is found running around brandishing a massive great knife. Is arrested and put into a mental institution, comes back out, resumes his bid to be allowed to stay here, is rejected, does it again. When do we tell these people, no, you can't stay here, go away?
Well, we should be doing it straight away, but what you'll find is in the asylum process, as you pointed out, about 88% of those people coming across the borders are between 18 and 55, and the vast majority of them are coming from two countries, Iraq and Iran, and they're well trained. Whilst I was out in Poland, I received a message that had text messages in Arabic explaining to those on the borders of Belarus how to look disheveled, how to put the children in front of the cameras to make them look really bad, what to say, how to look. They're trained by the people traffickers, knowing what they have to say that they're either being persecuted for their religion, nationality, or political opinion, so that when they put the application in, they're successful. And then they have the lawyers who, no doubt, clever as they are, well trained to get 55% of them through first time. But there's still 48% of them who are waiting for a long time, and we never get rid of them. There's been no returns this year at all.